yours.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and it's my honor to be here to give you a quick review of the cloud strategy in Taiwan. Okay, this is my outline, and my presentation content will focus on the cloud strategy in Taiwan and also include the future works that we are working on. Before I introduce the government cloud strategy in Taiwan, I will give you an overview of the e-government transformation journey. In this graph, you can see that Taiwan's e-government is It started on the 1998, and on the first phase, we are focused on the building the infrastructure like the government network and the PKI infrastructure. And when moved to the second phase, we will focus on the online service, and also we integrate the online service to a one-stop service. And move to the third phase, we are focused on the e-governance and the proactive service. And now we are at the fourth stage, and this stage we take advantage of the mobile service and the cloud computing and the social network to provide our better service to our citizens. So, but now we have a big challenge. As you may know, that a few years ago, because as the global finance crisis and Taiwan's economy was also impacted by that. So our ICT budget is not sufficient as before. So we have fewer and fewer the ICT budget, but the people's need is more and more. So how do we How do we meet the people's needs is our first challenge. And also we found that most of ICT budget are spent on the ICT hardware or software maintenance, and so that we have the less money and less budget to invest on the innovation application. So when the cloud computing is emerging, so we try to adapt the cloud computing solution to integrate and aggregate our ICT resources to create economies of scale, like shared service, to reduce the cost of ICT hardware and the software maintenance fee, and so that we can get more budget on the innovation application. So that's why we adopt the cloud computing solution. And we have to go to achieve our cloud computing strategy. One is we have to create our value to our citizens, and also we also create the value to our business. And how do we do that? We have defined 5 cloud computing strategies. So the first one is develop sensible application to our citizens. We want to provide better public service and enhance the standard of living for our citizens by deploying cloud computing service. And also, we will lay the foundation for software developing. As you may know, that Taiwan is famous for the ICT industry. But this industry, they often engage in hardware manufacturing. For our perspective, it's not good for our long-term economy development. So our government try to have the industry to transfer this structure and foster our ICT industry to develop the big scale system. To develop the ability to develop big scale like cloud software system. So that's the second strategy. And the third and the fourth one is the energy saving and strengthen the infrastructure. This work will focus on the consolidate the government data center from maybe now is 280 data centers, maybe to reduce to the 20 data centers. And besides that, we want to incorporate the energy saving regulations when the government building the data center. So that's we plan to do. And the next one is the build the innovation power. I think the value of the cloud computing is not only its technology, but the innovation service model or the business model. I think that is valuable. So having the innovation idea or innovation power is very important for our government employee and also for the industry. So we also define this cloud computing strategy to build the innovation power not only for government employee and also for the industry. Here are some examples of the sensible government application that we are going on, and we focus on the issue of public safety and food safety, and also healthcare, disaster relief, and transportation. Okay, the final one, the last one is the future work. I think the future work that we are going on, we will focus on the data, on the basis of the cloud computing that we have established. I think the government owns a lot of data, include the open data and also some personal data. Open data is a global trend that everybody knows, and many countries has opened many of much of the data, and also in Taiwan we have opened more than 2,000 data sets to our citizens. But the other part is the personal data. The personal data, the government it cannot be open to the public, but we have, and also we have to protect them securely. But this data is owned by the citizen. Why do we give the data? Why do we return the data to the citizen, and they can decide whether to open to the service provider, so that the service provider can provide more personalized or more special service for them. For example, I think we have healthcare data in Taiwan for every citizen, and our thinking is that we try to open the healthcare data, and the service provider will combine the social data or the IoT data. As we know that we have some. The wearable device is emerging, right? So in the future we can imagine that many kinds of the sensible data will come from our body. So maybe the service provider will combine the authorized personal data and the other IoT data to provide personalized service to our citizens, and our citizens will get better life and better service for themselves. So let's make a quick conclusion.
1 minute, yeah.
Yeah, that's one. So the first one is in our cloud computing strategy, we value the citizens' need and the industrial opportunity in the world while developing the cloud strategy. And the second one is how to maximize the value of government-owned data and engage with the citizen on the main work at the next stage. And the last one is we aim to make our government more transparent and our citizens more smart by keeping on releasing the data which belong to them. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for your listening.
Good.